Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Box Office Banter, your favorite box office recap show on the entire internet. I am Tanner Dykstra, joined as always by my good friend and co-host Tucker Hazel. Tucker, it's a new year, baby, but not for us. We are here to recap the final month of 2025. It's 2026. We're still living in 2025. We're living in the past, you and I.
Yeah.
Because
usually not a good thing, but I mean, is it a good thing here? I don't know. We kind of got a mixed month to talk about here.
We do have a mixed month to talk about. Obviously, there are some big movies that came out, and it's always fun to talk about the Christmas New Year's corridor because movies just do well. Like we'll get to it obviously in due time, but like there wasn't really a dud of movies that came out in that sort of time frame. But we had our share of duds beforehand, and will we talk about them. But before we do that, Tucker, I want to remind the audience, the viewing audience, our glorious listeners and viewers,
lovely.
to
Look
subscribe.
At their hair, Tanner. Isn't that look great?
Wow, my gosh, it smells
look at their
nice.
New shirt.
No, they might have gotten it for the holidays. Yeah.
Look at that new gift card you probably got. Looks great on you.
People maybe some cash. Do you think the gift cards have succeeded cash as like just an easy go-to gift? Yeah,
absolutely, 100%.
Yeah. What was I saying? Oh, subscribe to Backlot Banter. Like this video. Comment down below. Discord server link in the description. Boom.
Yeah.
Tucker, let's get started.
Bing bang boom, Tanner. We get to talk about movies here. Top 10 domestic 2025 openings.
Yes.
To start off, to warm ourselves up with. I call it an icebreaker. This is my favorite icebreaker. Go to a party. I'm like, hey guys. Do you know what the top 10 domestic 25 December 23? And then it punched me in the face, and I'm out for the rest of the party.
You know what? That's well within the rights to do so.
Tanner, it's Avatar month. We did it. We survived until Avatar
3. Avatar month.
I think that's what survived till 25 meant, by the way. People I just gotta see Fire and Ash, baby.
No, but Avatar did open below $100 million at the domestic box office. We'll get to how that film has fared so far worldwide, and deliberate like how good or not good it is looking for Avatar: Fire and Ash. But it was the number one opening of the month and was the number one movie of this month. Number 2. Kind of nipping at its heels, like in the scope of things, is Five Nights at Freddy's 2 opening to $64 million.
Yeah, and I think they're probably going to leg out about the same, too.
Yeah, probably. Number 3, I got asterisk for a couple of things that are going to come up here. I counted the 4-day Christmas weekend opening. Okay. So Christmas was on a Wednesday this year, so that means that there were the preview screenings on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. Is that right? No, Christmas was on a Thursday this year, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So it's technically a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If you want to include the preview screenings as well. So
sure.
That's why.
Yeah, that's actually a 5-day. When we usually say 5-day, it's kind of a 6-day actually.
Yeah, I mean, it's always like, especially in the modern age, like preview screenings have become far more robust. It used to be just midnight screenings the night before, but now there's like 2 or 3 showtimes for a movie the night before on Thursday nights.
That's when the hardcore fans go see the movie.
Absolutely.
I actually think it's kind of funny that people I have to remind my family members of that and like friends. Mm-hmm. I'm like, no, movies come out on Thursday. Like, oh, I thought the movie come out on like X day. I'm like, well, I mean, yeah, it says that on the poster, but like that's like also not true. Like you go to any theater and you're gonna go be able to watch the fucking movie.
Exactly. And it's still funny because those Thursday night numbers will be just lumped into the Friday numbers. Yeah. Like there's not like always on
the system is set up for a certain way, and we just haven't evolved, even though it has actually evolved.
Absolutely.
But Tanner,
anyway,
Marty Supreme, all that to say, in that 5-day, 27 million. Anaconda, 23 million opening weekend. David. A movie that we'll be talking about here at $22 million. And rounding out the top 10 is The Housemaid from front of the show, Paul Feig. The SpongeBob movie, Search for SquarePants. Song Song Blue at number 8. Jujutsu Kaisen Execution. Did not know that happened. Did not. Yep. No one's mentioned that to me.
Nope.
And number 10, Kill Bill. The whole. I mean, it's a whole bloody affair.
The whole bloody affair. So, just as a quick note, if you were to just do like the 3-day weekend around Christmas, Housemaid would pop up into that top 5. It would knock Anaconda out and take that number 4 spot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, Tucker, with that in mind, we can compare that, what just happened, to our December 2025 box office predictions, where we tried to predict what the top 5 would be. We were both a little off in certain ways, shapes, and forms.
We didn't care to discuss David or think about David, so neither of us brought that up. But I mean, we have to say, this is nice creamy egg all over my face, Tanner. I didn't believe in the power of Marty Supreme being in the top 5 at all. So there we go. That's the egg. And
I do have to say, Tucker, that if we roll back the video, if we roll back the tape to when we did this at the end of our November video, I said that, like, you know, in my heart, Marty Supreme is going to open to like $30 million, and it almost did. It almost did. And but I predicted it for like 10. Which is pretty crazy, because you were trying to talk
a bigger, weaker month just in general.
I thought it was definitely going to be a weaker month, because what did I have? I said, first of all, I said Avatar 130, which ended up being quite a bit off. Yeah. Five Nights at Freddy's, I said 40, which also ended up being quite a ways off.
Pretty off.
I had SpongeBob in there, which did not crack the top 5, no matter how you slice it. I said 20 million for SpongeBob. I think it did like 11 or something, if memory serves. Anaconda, I said 15, which is a little bit off.
It's the closest you've been.
Yeah, depending on how you look at it. And then, I said Marty Supreme 10. So,
It's the closest you've been, but also in terms of scale, it's actually not that different from how off you were about
Exactly. Exactly. So, with all that in mind, I also mentioned the Housemaid thing, because you did have the Housemaid at number 4, which is... Okay. If you look at the, most of your box office data websites, that's how they're going to categorize it. So.
Okay, interesting. So you made a choice there, Tanner. You're not a fence sitter, and I appreciate that about you.
Yeah. Okay, so let's look at the Cinema Score and Rotten Tomato Critic Score comparisons for December as well. We had quite a few films that were quite well reviewed. 3 A films for Cinema Score, a B+, quite a few Bs, and then your B minuses as well, or your B minus, I guess I should say, was Ella McCay. And then Ella McCay and Five Nights at Freddy's really bringing up the rear for the critic score.
I mean, honestly, Tanner, like, to me, this is the story of the month in terms of, like, surprise. Is the month, okay, Avatar Fire and Ash, like, comparatively maybe underperforming. Yeah, we can talk about that, like, but ultimately whatever. But, like, Ella McCay at a 22% on Rotten Tomatoes. Like, we watched that movie. We both liked it.
We liked it.
Like sincerely, Rotten Tomatoes, which applies to, like, basically all professional critics in the industry. What the hell is wrong with Ella McCay? Like, that much? Are you kidding me? Like, if it was like a 50, I'd be like, oh, come on. It's not a 50. But Tanner, this is a 22% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's not even, like, a divisive movie. It is pretty cut and dry. Like a 2 out of 10 critics like the movie is kind of how. Yeah.
And Tanner, we're right here. We're the 2.
We're the 2. But yeah, I mean, everything else looks pretty stock standard, I would say. Lots of stuff hovering right around that fresh mark. Not as much stuff in the certified fresh, only Marty Supreme.
Yeah.
I think. Song Sung Blue, I think, is also certified fresh.
Certified fresh, okay, sure.
Yeah.
I will say though, I think the other biggest surprise here, in terms of specifically Rotten Tomatoes, is that Avatar Fire and Ash, it's pretty low.
Yeah, 66%, I believe, once we get to that slide, which really threw me for a loop.
Yeah.
That dropped quite a bit from when it debuted on the site a few weeks back.
And that, I'm just going to look it up real quick here, compared to the Rotten Tomatoes of Avatar Way of Water.
It's got to be way lower.
76 versus 66. Okay, so as Avatar Way of Water, I would consider 76 low for that movie, because I love it.
Certainly.
But, it's certified fresh, at least. So this would be the first not certified fresh James Cameron movie in
quite a long time.
35 years.
Yeah, gotta be. All right. Well, Tucker, let's start off with Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Let's go back to the pizzeria here. Blumhouse distributed this film. I was a little... Oh, yeah. I was a little apprehensive, seeing this film dated for this usually death knell ringing early December spot.
Yeah.
But it proved me wrong. This film opened to about $64 million, like we said, has done $230 million on a budget of $40. So, yes, Tucker, we will continue to get Five Nights at Freddy's movies for time in memoriam, it seems.
We will, but I'm curious to see... And ultimately, I think the answer is it doesn't really matter, but I'd be curious to see if the comparative budget and total gross of this compared to the first one causes them to shift direction in any way. This is a worse received movie. I mean, they're both poorly received, so like it's kind of comparing a shit to a turd. But it cost twice as much to make, and didn't make as much as the first one. And I don't really know necessarily what's causing that. Maybe it's just the first movie was more of a surprise or kind of a novelty of like, oh my gosh, they're doing this. Like a relatively new video game is getting a high profile adaptation. But ultimately, and the reason why I say the answer is probably it doesn't fucking matter. On a budget of $40 million, this movie has made almost $240 million, and so like they're raking in all sorts of dough. It's just not as obscene as the first one was.
No, that's right. It is. It holds a number of records as well because again, this post Thanksgiving spot, this first week of December is usually a pretty dead spot.
Yeah, sure.
For the domestic box office.
Yeah,
and it had the biggest post Thanksgiving opening weekend ever. It's it's also worth noting that well, it's doing a little bit worse than that first movie. The first movie was a little bit more of a phenomenon, but was also released on Peacock at the same time, day and date.
That's very interesting. Okay.
So, which contributed to a large second week drop off for Five Nights at Freddy's, which is the casual your hardcore fans went to go see it in theaters, and not as many casual people coming back to it since it was also available on streaming. So the second week drop for this was lower than for the first film. It is. It
is also just important to note that this saves Blumhouse's hide for a year that was like all loss for them. I don't know off the top of my head what the budget versus gross of all those previous movies were, but if you're making $200 million off of this movie, like the budget of that's like 3 years worth of budget for Blumhouse movies, frankly. It's $200 million.
It is.
So they're fine. We will continue to get some Blum slop.
Lots of Blum slop still coming down the pike, certainly. But yes, I assume that they are very happy with this result still. And even, we say that, like, these movies are poorly received, but, like, they know they have a contingent of fandom that will continue to go out to see these and give it a B cinema score, which does not really, match up with that 16% Rotten Tomatoes score.
Do you remember, off the top of your head, because I haven't pulled up, actually, what the audience rating for Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is on Rotten Tomatoes?
Is it north of 90?
No.
Okay.
It's close, though. It's 85.
85. Wow. Wow.
Actually, you know what? Just because it's comparably rated from critics. Ella McCay.
Yeah, audience score up for Ella McCay?
57. That's a lot higher than 22. Nobody likes that movie, huh?
Still not good, though. Okay, well, let's talk about it, Tucker. Let's talk about Ella McCay. James L. Brooks' Ella McCay. His return to film directing.
I just saw that budget.
Yeah, his return to directing after 15 years is Ella McCay. And it's a pretty major travesty. It was made for $35 million, which, all things considered, is not that crazy.
No, it's a mid-budget drama.
Yeah, it is a mid-budget. It's made less than $5 million.
Tanner, with you and me getting tickets to this movie, did you go with anyone, by the way?
No. No, just went by myself.
Yeah, I was going to say, no one's going to. I took my dad. Those 3 tickets that we know, we can point to people who we know saw the movie and paid money for it. That's like a surprisingly meaningful amount of the total gross.
More so than almost any movie we've ever discussed on this show.
Yeah. I think all you have to say is just people aren't interested in this kind of movie anymore.
No.
I think actually part of the reason why we praised it when we saw it, and I think my dad enjoyed it as well, is it does feel like something that could have come out in the 80s.
Definitely.
And people looking back at those movies really, at least in film circles, kind of miss the fact that we don't get these kind of dramas just, as kind of a star vehicle, not really focused on anything other than just people going through their lives. But the truth of the matter is, it's not where the box office is at anymore. And as much as we might want the theatrical slate to be diversified, it's not going to happen if this is what keeps happening. I mean, it also happened with Here last year.
Certainly. Well, I think it's also worth pointing out. Maybe we shouldn't spell doom for Ella McCay or because of Ella McCay, because if I can come at this with a little bit more of a clear mind. I was like, okay, first of all, James L. Brooks is not really a draw for general audiences.
Not anymore.
Again,
he would have been 25, 30 years ago.
Yeah, he hasn't directed a movie in 15 years.
Yeah.
He hasn't directed a relevant movie in probably 30.
Yeah.
And you look at the cast here, Tucker. Who are the box office draws of Ella McCay? Is it Jamie Lee Curtis? Is that the biggest box office draw here?
Well, I mean, you gotta say it's Woody Harrelson, right? I mean,
is Woody Harrelson getting butts in seats?
No. What was the sports movie? The
Champions?
Yeah, that didn't do anything, did it?
No.
No. No. Yeah. I mean, it's an interesting point. I mean, this is frankly, Tanner.
Mm-hmm.
Let's call a spade
a spade.
Let's call a spade a spade. This is a cast of supporting actors.
It is.
And
it is.
I like everyone involved in this movie, and I think they actually all did a very good job. But yeah, like there was a point in time when Jamie Lee Curtis was a major draw, and Woody Harrelson and Kumail Nanjiani, but and also Albert Brooks. I mean, a long time ago. Other ones, but I think you're totally right. Is that maybe with a higher profile main character, maybe that would have really helped shift the tide.
Yeah,
but
I'll also say that this is a bad spot to put Ella McCay in right here. I mean, again, this is December 12th, which is after that post-Thanksgiving weekend, of course, but it's still in a very you're in the trough of big movie seasons. If they had released this during Mother's Day weekend, I think it would have done quite a bit. I think it would have done better business, just because people are more trained to go to the movies especially for this kind of movie around that time.
Interesting.
So it's also just a matter of for people, critics, audiences, whomever, just had their knives out for Ella McCay.
Yeah, and so we also can't discount the fact that while genre is certainly part of the reason why this movie didn't grab wider audiences. Mm-hmm. Also, the people that saw it didn't like it.
Exactly.
We're very biased in that we thought it was a sweet movie with good performances, and we're fans of James L. Brooks, and so we're a little bit dissonant with the wider reception of this. But part of the reason why it had massive drop-offs and it was bleeding theaters so quickly. I mean, people were just removing it. It's because people didn't like it.
Exactly.
That's ultimately the real nail in the coffin. And again, because we liked it, I can't even really tell why.
People don't like it because the negative sort of notes that I've picked up from are the writing, the script is bad, and the characters are behave strangely and talk oddly, which I can't. There are certain cases of that in Ella McCay that I'm true, kind of undeniably. But yeah, I mean, it is a late style James L. Brooks film, so it's going to be
we all know the type.
Exactly.
Hasn't made a movie in 15 years.
Hasn't made a movie in 15 years. So I just put at the top here, I think it's worth noting, it's the fourth worst domestic debut for a film in 2,500 or more theaters
ever
of all time. If you don't count the day and date pandemic releases, it jumps to number 2 on that list.
I thought it was gonna be better.
No. If you take hang on, I gotta look up what that list was.
It's gonna be a bunch of nonsense. Wow, that's really amazing, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Which distribution company
this was Tucker? This was 20th Century Fox.
Oh, huh.
This was technically a Disney picture.
Sure.
Tucker, I got it here. I got the list. So, if you remove the number 1 and 2 spots are day and date pandemic releases. Okay. Scoob is number 1.
Oh, sure.
And Reminiscence is number 2. Remember Reminiscence?
I do, actually. My dad watched that movie, and he brings it up to me every once in a while. And he's like, what was that movie that Hugh Jackman was in? I'm like, you talking about Reminiscence, buddy?
So those are number 1 and 2. Number 3, which is still
what? No one
there.
brought up is because of Rebecca Ferguson. We saw the Mercy trailer. And he's like, oh, wasn't Rebecca Ferguson in that
Hugh Jackman
movie? I'm like,
And Hugh Jackman has another somewhat relevant movie in Song Sung Blue. So if you take those out, number one is still the movie Friend Request.
I haven't heard that.
I think that's a Screen Life there's a ghost in a phone movie kind of thing. Yeah. Well, and then number two in that case would be Ella McCay. If you take out those pandemic movies.
I can't even say shout out.
Yeah.
I can't say shout out. Well,
all right.
Let's talk about something a little bit bigger.
Actually, one thing, I've heard tell. The rumor mill is spinning, and they're saying
Ella McCay Disney Plus original series.
No, that the reason that James L. Brooks was able to get this movie made at 20th Century Fox was because it was sort of a handshake agreement that if he was able to make this movie, then he would get the gang together for a second Simpsons movie. Like, he would go around and get, Castanella and Kavner and all the folks and get them to sign on to a Simpsons movie, too. Which is happening, so.
That'll be worth it, ultimately. $35 million is going to be worth a lot of money that movie's going to make.
Definitely. Okay, now we can, move on to Avatar, Fire, and Ash.
Yeah. A little F&A for our business.
A little F&A. So, yes, we already talked about
acquisitions, Tanner.
Yes, we already talked about the sub $100 million domestic opening for this. It does have a standard Avatar budget of around $400 million.
Yeah.
It recently, I think just today, or I guess as of last night, crossed $1 billion at the worldwide box office. It will continue to climb. Obviously, these Avatar movies stay in theaters for a long, long time, through basically like the end of February at least. So tracking on this currently is putting it probably around the 1.5 to 1.75 ending total billion, that is, which would be the lowest in the series because the first one made like $3 billion and this one made 2.3.
No, Way of Water made 2.3. And then Fire and Ash will make less than that.
Yes.
It's interesting. Now here's if we're doing a little prognostication, a little diagnosis here. Do we think, again, let's put ourselves in the mindset of Blumhouse. This is James Cameron and Jason Blum, two kind of birds of a feather in my mind.
Exactly. Two very comparable filmmakers and film creatives.
In that, do you think that there's any way that they feel that they need to sort of pivot if they see the series quote-unquote declining like this? Or, again, like Five Nights at Freddy's 2, a movie that I keep in close conversation with Avatar, Fire, and Ash.
Constantly.
It's made so much money and still made them a lot more money than what most things make, to where it doesn't matter. Is 1.5 to 1.7 one of the highest grossing movies ever made? Is that still high enough to just keep dropping 400 on sequels?
I don't know. Tucker, I swing back and forth wildly on this every single time. It's also a matter of, like, James Cameron has, like, kind of made it clear that he's like, I kind of want to make another movie, like a different kind of movie before I come back to Avatar, which, I mean, I guess he can do, or is that, like, Big Jim business mode being like, I basically won't make another Avatar movie? Is he trying to, like, force Disney's hand here a little bit? And sort of signal that he's gonna take a risk on something else and maybe have them trying to lure him back to do an Avatar 4, which in fact he wanted to do the whole time. I don't think that he is, like, willing to abandon Avatar.
No, I don't either, and I have to be honest, though I set it up as like a question at the beginning, it's pretty cut and dry in my mind. We will get another Avatar movie. How long that takes, we saw a massive gap between 1 and 2, so they're fine with waiting a long time. We also know, like, James Cameron may be involved. He may be producer, executive producer, writer, but not sole director. Who knows? But Disney, this movie is going to make just south of $2 billion. It is going to be one of the top grossing movies ever made, and even though it's not hitting the highs that the first and second one did, those are two of the 3 highest grossing movies of all time. I'm sorry, making one of the highest grossing movies of all time is still a great thing, and so, like, I think we're totally safe, especially just because of how much they've committed to this. The Pandora and the parks, and just this building this up as a bigger franchise, games in development, stuff like that. Like, I don't think that Disney can lose another consistent series like this because everything else that they have, even their biggest IP, fluctuate much more wildly than this, to the point where even their biggest series have flops. There's not a flop Avatar movie. And
no.
They continue their series that have flops in them, and they still make more of them.
Yes.
So,
the talk around this was that, it needs $1 billion to break even. So it's broken even. Yeah. And it's got, a month and a half, 2 months of in theaters left.
Wasn't James Cameron saying something about that Way of Water needed to make $2 billion to make break even? Do you remember that? That was a couple of years ago.
That was maybe. But then it was this one was one. So I don't know how the wacky accounting works.
Of course it's one. With a budget of $400, I don't think the marketing budget was $400 million on this movie.
No, that'd be insane.
So they're fine. They're rolling in the cash right now.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, this movie's doing quite well in China. China accounts for 13% of that worldwide total so far. Mm-hmm. It's made $300 million in the States here. It's the third Disney film to cross $1 billion. They're the only U.S. distributor to cross that. Yeah, sorry, this year.
Or to
cross that. Oh, last year. God damn it. Okay. Yeah, I had to try and correct myself a number of times writing stuff down in the slideshow too. So yes, the third $1 billion film of 2025. They're the only U.S. distributor to reach that goal, and they've reached it now 3 times. So
yeah, and other than Nejat 2, they're the only one to make
exactly. $1 billion. It is the $4th $1 billion movie of 2025, the third U.S. film.
Yeah, well, nothing's changing in Disneyland, man.
That's true.
We had a couple years there where we're like, boy, they really got to change course. Not really.
Not really. And Tucker, this year's going to make it. This year's going to be no different for
them. Not
really. No. Okay. Now we can we got a couple more December 19th, sort of pre-Christmas window films. These are the counter programming to Avatar that were released on the 19th. Yeah. We have Paul Feig's The Housemaid, which is doing very well.
Yeah.
On a budget of 35, it opened to 19, quite robust as an opening, but has continued to just chug right along through the holiday corridor into January, chugging right along, doing good business. I've never seen this before, Tucker, because you go to Box Office Mojo and you can do the daily box office, right? It'll show you percent change from the previous day, kind of for every day that it made money. It jumped 100% 2 times from day to from Christmas Eve to Christmas Day. It jumped 120%, and then New Year's Eve to New Year's Day it jumped 140%. Making I wrote down the totals there: 3.4, 4.6 on both those days. So it's just making $2 to $5 million every single day.
It's crazy.
And I didn't think it was that good of a movie, I will be honest. But it goes to show that if you adapt, it's sort of this lesson that maybe Hollywood has kind of forgotten. If you adapt an easy reading book like The Housemaid, which was a bestseller, sort of a thriller with some sexy stuff in it, and things like that.
Hey, that was the movie as well.
Yeah, exactly. Then people will come out to see that if it's a thing they know, a thing they like, and you just translate that over to the screen with some faces they recognize.
Well, but I don't even think it's necessarily a thing that they know, because this is a mass market movie.
That's a good point. The book is not that big of a deal. Tucker, not exactly our circles either. So maybe it's a much bigger deal. Yeah,
definitely. But I mean, I just don't think that as many people are reading books, Tanner, as they're watching movies, and this is it's going to be a $100 million grossing movie. So I do think that there's something here more of just that thrillers are interesting, and putting a recognizable star in your movie is interesting. And I also do think that this is an interesting extra notch in the belt of Sydney Sweeney, who has had a really interesting last couple years she's been very, very relevant. But Absolutely. She hasn't been making a lot of money with her movies. I think Anyone But You was kind of the last one that was any particular success. I've got her IMDb pulled up here.
Yes.
Christy, which is one of the lowest grossing movies ever produced by humankind.
Yep.
Eden, another one of those. Immaculate, which was fine, but not big. Madam Web, massive bomb. That is her that's her last few movies there, Taylor.
That's not true. I mean, you're doing things because it's IMDb, so they count in like festival release dates. She had Tucker. This is the 4th Sydney Sweeney starring movie that came out in 2025. Oh,
because there's also Americana. I forgot. Yeah,
Americana.
I looked down. Yeah.
And Tucker, I don't know if you looked at the last hash mark I have on The Housemaid. The Housemaid made more on its opening day than her 3 other movies combined in 2025.
I don't know if I should feel good or bad for her.
Well, just for the number there, Tucker, The Housemaid made $8 million opening day.
Well, wait, opening day. Oh,
yeah, opening day. The Thursday, Friday, Whoa. Technically. December 18th and 19th at domestic box office.
Whoa.
Outgrossed the worldwide total of her 3 previous films this year.
Oh, I think I'm getting a fever just thinking about that.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, because here's the question.
Yeah.
Is how do those movies, in your mind, impact the box office potential of Sydney Sweeney?
So I can go through them. Americana was an incredibly niche play, made literally like $500,000 or whatever. Like, no one in Hollywood or outside of Hollywood will remember that movie exists. Eden, I think, is a little bit more of an odd duck because yes, it's Ron Howard and it had some other big names in it, but also it was dumped in August. And then the third one was, of course, Christie, which I think is probably a little bit more of a black mark because it was a big play for this up-and-coming distributor, Black Bear, who sort of took a chance on distributing this movie themselves. It was the first time that they had ever kind of done that, really marketing it on Sydney Sweeney's name and this is her. She's doing a boxing movie, a sports movie, drama. This is exactly. This is an Oscar play, an awards play even. That is probably the biggest knock against it. That, Sydney Sweeney is not that level of movie star yet, and people are not, I think, interested in seeing her in that kind of movie. What they want to see her in is maybe more light, fun affair like The Housemaid or Anyone But You.
Yeah, no, it's funny given... I mean, frankly, the dark subject matter, calling The Housemaid light, but there is sort of this,
there's a campy element to everything going on here.
General audiences being more interested in something that's comparatively more genre, a little bit more, because The Housemaid feels like a TV show premise, almost. It feels like a little bit serial, a little bit pulp.
Well, there are multiple books in the series.
Oh, well, and Tanner? Mm-hmm. Remember the end of that movie?
There's a sequel tease.
They set up that she's gonna be a murderer for shitty husbands. Yeah. And I'm sitting there. I'm like, okay, fair enough. I'm like, that's not a bad idea for a series. That's kind of interesting. But I thought this movie was kind of fun. I liked it good enough. But the reason why I think, even thinking about this really interesting string of flops that she's been the star of, I don't think those really impact her, is because I think that having a series of big movies or decently big movies matters way more than what's in between them. Because you can look at the run of any major actor. There are terrible Tom Hanks movies that flopped. There are terrible Robin Williams movies, Samuel L. Jackson movies. All these major stars have these sort of things that you could have considered and should maybe consider black marks in their filmography, but because they pop up every few years in something big and their career builds in that way, that's what makes a star. And so I think that it's a little bit too early to paint her, Sydney Sweeney, as someone whose star is falling, even though she was in those multiple flop movies, because
her star is not falling.
Yeah, she's got to be in these big things, and also she's just relevant. She's always in ad campaign. She's always in marketing in some way. People are always talking about her. And so, this is, for me, The Housemaid, a reaffirmation that she is a draw. It just needs to be paired with the right project and the right amount of marketing.
Yes, I certainly. Now, the question for me ultimately will be, because this is the kind of, this is just the era of movie star that we're in, is that, you have to be able to now translate over to, 4-quadrant blockbuster stuff. She has not done that yet. I mean, Madam Web was kind of like an attempt at something like that. But obviously that was tied to like the sinking ship of the Spunk. So I'm like, what is going to be that movie for Sydney Sweeney? Because it's coming. Like they're going to try and do that.
Yeah. Split Fiction.
Split Fiction. She's in like a Gundam project apparently.
Yeah. What the hell is a Gundam movie with Sydney Sweeney gonna be? Like?
I don't know. I don't know.
We'll see.
But it'll happen at some point in the coming years, and so that'll just be interesting for me. Is like what does it carry over, or is she like turning out to be a draw of yesteryear, where like people go to see her in rom-coms and like sex thrillers and stuff like that?
Yeah, which would be kind of interesting. Again, I think actually I can compliment both the Housemaid
erotic thrillers. That's the phrase, not sex thrillers. Erotic thrillers.
I can compliment both The Housemaid and Anyone But You of being those kind of movies. I'm like, that does diversify the calendar a little bit. You don't get a ton of rom-coms. You don't get a ton of erotic thrillers. Yeah. And even though I don't think either of them were particularly great, they certainly were popular for their genre. And so if that's the sort of niche that she settles in, I think that's actually kind of good for like the health of the industry.
She's got like a role obviously in like a blockbuster TV series coming in a couple of months with Euphoria season 3. That'll really like light the fire again, kind of like remind people of like, oh yeah, this is like why we were drawn to her in the first place, is this TV role she had years ago. So I think that will obviously be a boost, and I'd like to see her in a horror movie again. I think my favorite work of hers is probably still Immaculate.
Yeah, that's a great movie. Yeah. And I also got to give props to Paul Feig, who also actually directed another movie this year, Another Simple Favor, that I actually thought was quite good and better than The Housemaid. I mean, just better stars in that movie. Yeah. But he also hasn't directed a theatrically released movie since before the pandemic, I don't think.
Yeah. Came back to it.
And I think It Was a Simple Favor is really the last theatrical and especially successful theatrical movie that he's made. And so this is sort of a comeback for him. I mean, he's been doing a lot of like Prime stuff.
Yes,
he's been doing a lot of.
He's been tapping into that streaming market, but I'm happy to have him, back in the theatrical sort of realm. Yeah. Hopefully he stick there, because this one did hit well. Sign him on to a deal. Have him direct like 2 more Housemaid movies or whatever.
Oh yeah, that would be yeah. All right. Let's talk about David, Tanner. You came into this video.
I was like, Tucker, we gotta talk about it. Tucker, please let us talk about David, please. No, I just threw this one on here because I figured we should probably talk about one of the 2 sort of like animated, family-friendly kids movies that came out this month. And to me, it was just more interesting to talk about David than it was SpongeBob: The Search for SquarePants. Yeah. Now, of course, David does not have. There's no David Big Guy Pants Okay song.
Tanner, I can't stop thinking about it. I can't stop thinking of the fucking song. I showed it to my brother the other day, and I just had it stuck in my head the entire time. Yeah. No.
But anyway, listen. If you want my thoughts on the box office performance of SpongeBob: The Search for SquarePants, kids like SpongeBob. They went to go see the SpongeBob movie there, but David is outperforming the SpongeBob movie, which is also a reason to talk about it. It has a budget of $60 million, which is pretty high for like is sort of like a lower.
SpongeBob is grossed over $100 million already.
Domestically, I should say. Oh, okay. Domestically,
sure. Okay, yes.
All right. David does not have international distribution, really. So there you have it.
Sure.
But anyway, on a budget of $60 million, opened to about 22, has legged out to 70. It means that Angel Studios has beaten their own record from earlier in 2025 for the highest-grossing biblical animated film, King of Kings. Remember, King of Kings came out. Domestically, I should say again, because that movie did quite well overseas and had like overseas distribution. David does not seem to be does not seem to have that for some reason. Don't know why. But anyway. The only other things I had here
were... It's because secularism is destroying all these non-U.S. countries, Tanner.
But King of Kings did do well overseas.
What happened since then?
Oh, since then. Okay, sorry. It happened between April and December. Okay, sounds good. Anyway, the Angel Studios had their pay it forward ticket purchase strategy again for this film, which for people who are unfamiliar is kind of what launched them into conversation a few years back with Sound of Freedom, where basically you can go to the Angel Studios website and buy tickets for people.
Yeah.
Basically, and I guess I don't really know how this works. I don't see any of these movies in theaters for obvious reasons. Yeah. Do you just like go to the theater kiosk and be like?
You probably have to claim it on the website.
Probably claim it online, I guess, because the big thing was like, oh yeah, kids should go to see this. We want to like get 1 million kids to go see David for free or whatever. Yeah. So
now, Tanner, I'm actually going to send you a link, and I'll link this in the description of this video.
Yep.
Dan Murrell has a video on exactly how this works.
Okay.
So I'll find that. You might watch it and find it interesting. But if anyone's curious to see how this very unique element of the modern film landscape works, a guy that we're both big fans of, Dan Murrell, has a good breakdown of it. So I'll make sure to leave that in the description.
What it also means, and this popped up quite a bit, especially when Sound of Freedom sort of launched Angel Studios into the popular like box office like area of discussion, is that like. So that means that people bought the tickets, but not necessarily people are going to see this movie. Like it's not exactly a 1-to-1. That these tickets were purchased, but that doesn't translate to does not necessarily translate to butts in seats.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to tell. We have no way of really knowing, but
exactly
that's what the numbers are.
Yeah.
But also regardless, I do have to say, we would say, from our perspectives, that capitalizing on people's faith like this to get them to pay money for people that might not be seeing the movie feels a little bit scummy. But like, in this day and age, getting people to pay money to go see movies at all, or to like contribute to the film industry at all, is getting rarer and rarer. And so like, that's the system they've got, and that's the system that's working for them.
I will say, where I am, in the beating heartland of America, quite a few sold out screenings of David that I've seen at my local theater. So
now, did you peek your head in and see if they were just all like?
It's all empty seats. I did not. Tucker, I did not.
I remember I was thinking about that with Sound of Freedom. Is that like, there's no way that all these are sold out?
All right. Last thing I wanted to shout out here, just because I found this interesting tidbit in the Wikipedia page for David. So there was apparently a legal dispute about this film. Like Angel Studios did not produce this film. It was produced by a company called Slingshot, which I guess was probably, by the name of it, maybe like made for the production of David, just because he's got that slingshot. He's got a slingshot or whatever.
Sure.
That like. And apparently, like Angel Studios closed Slingshot out of having a say in distribution and like post production and things like that. So there was a whole legal dispute there where Slingshot sued Angel Studios. Angel Studios ended up just buying the IP rights for the movie en masse for $78 million. So they're actually quite a bit more in the hole on this than they probably care to admit.
Well, they are. So the question then becomes. Does the $60 million that you count as the production budget, did that financial burden, was that on Angel Studios or was it on Slingshot? Because then technically the budget might, if it's not, the budget might be 78 technically from Angel Studios' perspective.
Angel Studios bought it for $78 million, which probably covered whatever Slingshot put up for the production.
Sure.
And so that Angel Studios was now responsible for the production budget and then also the IP rights, like payback on top of that extra $18 million. So if you want to say that, then yes, I guess the budget for this would be like $78 million that Angel would have to recoup on this to start making money on it.
Plus some,
yes.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That's the story of David.
Okay. Tucker, we got 3 Christmas movies to talk about here.
Christmas.
The first one we're going to talk about is Marty Supreme. Heard of it? Marty Supreme, the latest film from A24. The other solo project from the Safdie brothers, post-Split. We got the Smashing Machine flop earlier this year.
That was Shyamalan.
What?
They didn't direct Split.
Oh, okay. This is Josh Safdie's movie.
Can a white boy have a little fun on the back box of a
I don't know. What do you want? Tucker, what do you want from me? What the fuck do you want from me over here? Oh, okay. How was that?
That's only one. I was hoping for at least two.
Anyway, Tucker, Marty Supreme's doing very well. It's doing much better than The Smashing Machine. It's made $58 million so far. Its legs are quite strong. It's looking like it's really looking to power through and like glom on to like general audience, being part of a conversation. Especially, it seems that Timothée Chalamet's like rampant online social media marketing paid off. 50% of the opening weekend audience says they went to go see the movie because of him. He was the main reason they wanted to go see it.
Yeah, I think that's also true for us.
Yes, it was. And 28% of those moviegoers said that the social media was the most influential area of marketing for them to see this movie.
All right. Now, I saw something this morning on, and I talked to Aaron about it a little bit, that this is going to become A24's highest grossing movie. Now, or domestically or something like that. Now,
yes.
I just opened up the box office mojo for Everything Everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's just getting close. The domestic here for Marty Supreme is 56. The total domestic for Everything Ever All at Once, which I believe is still the highest grossing movie for 2024.
It's like 77, if memory serves.
Yeah. So it might pass it. Yeah.
The thing that people really are pointing to and like trying to project out is the legs for Marty Supreme, because of course, unlike the other films that we're going to talk about here, the conversation about Marty Supreme and like getting people to go see it will not end when after like mid-January or whatever.
No, of course, yeah.
This is an awards play, so it will continue to play in theaters through February and March on a smaller scale, of course, but like Anaconda and Song Sung Blue will not be in theaters for that long.
Of course, yeah. And given the rampant critical reception of this movie, it might even... It'll stay in the conversation because it'll be nominated for something, but it also might start winning some things. Like
it definitely,
who knows what the
certainly
real
could.
trajectory is for this movie.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, what people are doing are really just applying like the legs of A Complete Unknown from last year to Marty Supreme. Like if it holds to the same degree, because Marty Supreme is already making more money than A Complete Unknown, but if it holds for as long to like the same degree, then it will potentially reach $100 million domestic.
Yeah, so whatever I read this morning, I thought like had claimed that this has already happened. I was like, holy shit.
No.
But this is like some trajectory, and fair enough.
It is.
Complete Unknown worldwide total gross was 140. So it's got a lot to still get there. Yeah. I mean, but
what was the domestic total on
75.
Complete Unknown? 75. Yeah.
So this will be similar to Everything Everywhere.
Exactly. So yeah, I think that it will end up being probably their biggest movie if the legs on this continue to hold out in that way.
Sure.
So it's all contingent on like, will people continue to go see it to the same degree they went to go see last year's big award season Timothée Chalamet film.
Yeah, and again, this is, I think it is. It's been safe to say for a while, but I think this movie really sells the fact that Timothée Chalamet is the draw. In the past, his last couple movies, funny almost on a yearly basis, but have been biopic of a famous musician, family movie related to an IP, and multiple big IP blockbusters. And so all of those have the, is it Timmy? Is it Dune? Is it Timmy? Is it Willy Wonka? Like, there's a question mark there, but like, no, you're going to go see Marty Supreme because you like Timothée Chalamet, and it's not because you're into ping pong, and it's not because you know the guy, the life of the guy that this was based on. Neither of those are true. This is because of Timmy that he's going to make a decent part of the film industry, A24, potentially their highest grossing movie.
Yes.
He's the star. He's the modern film star.
He is. But yeah, it was their biggest opening weekend if you want to count that 4-day. If you don't, I think the biggest opening weekend is still Civil War.
Sure, that makes sense.
And it's also it had a limited release in the classic like 6 theaters, 3 in LA, 3 in New York, on December 19th, and had grossed $875,000 across those 6 theaters, which is the biggest per theater average of 2025 and the biggest per theater average since 2016.
That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
Dang. Well, good on Timmy.
Exactly. Exactly. Next, let's talk about Anaconda. Anaconda. This is
Why'd you say twice?
I don't know.
Just making sure we know which movie you're talking about first.
Exactly. We're talking about. Say it for me.
Anaconda.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. I was thinking about it for a little bit.
So this is a Jack Black, Paul Rudd starring meta comedy, R-rated comedy about like two friends who go out into the Amazon to remake their favorite movie from 1997, Anaconda.
Sure.
And it's doing quite well.
You know?
Yeah, that's where we are at. Absolutely. It's doing quite well on a budget of $45 million, which is pretty, low if you consider like the level of star that the two stars that are in this, and you had some on location.
Like that's probably, I'm gonna say it. That's probably like not that far off of what Jack Black is getting for like being in the Mario movies.
Yeah, I looked it up. This movie did start like filming and everything before the Minecraft movie came out. Obviously,
Minecraft, yeah, obviously.
Yeah. So I'm like, for the possible Anaconda 2 or whatever, I'm sure his quote will probably go up.
Yeah.
But no, I mean it's made $88 million worldwide. It will probably
really quick for that.
Will probably pass 100 very quickly too. You're like, damn, okay, so this is an R-rated. I struggle with like, is this original or isn't it? Because it's not a remake of Anaconda, but it is playing on that IP, which is, Tucker, we can be honest with ourselves, not popular. No one cares about Anaconda.
It has a meme value. But I would consider it a cult hit.
Sure.
But yeah, I think that because it is treading on an IP, it's not original. The concept is, but I mean, man, it's complicated. It's interesting, but like ultimately, also, it's a movie where a big snake eats people. Like
exactly. It is exactly that. And then Jack Black and Paul Rudd are running around and screaming.
Like if the name of the movie could be the same, but if it was about like a biologist who was like learning about snakes, that's not the same IP. But it's the thing,
Yes, and spoilers for Anaconda for anyone who cares to go see it. But like, Ice Cube and J-Lo are in the movie.
Oh, really?
As like cameos, basically.
As themselves. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. So yeah, the thing that really surprised me in looking through the the reporting and the data on this, this movie played very well and had like not insignificant business from like parents bringing their kids. Like it got very high scores from children under 12. Who made up 10% of that opening weekend audience with their parents, obviously. Yeah. This is an R-rated movie. But, like, I've seen it.
Is it just... I mean, is it Jack Black?
Exactly. Tucker, you took the words out of my mouth. It's Jack Black. Kids under 12.
Yeah.
Remember seeing Minecraft? Jack Black is, like, the #1 movie star for, like, preteens, basically.
Time's a flat fucking circle, my guy.
Exactly.
That was true when we were kids, too.
He has been for, like, the past 20 years.
Pretty impressive, yeah. Well,
it is honestly really impressive.
I think there's a chunk in the middle there where Chris Pratt took that helm.
Yeah.
But I think especially because Jack Black's more live action, his visage, Tanner, is more apparent in the recent crop of movies that he's been in, as opposed to Chris Pratt, who's mostly been doing voice acting. Shout out to Jack Black,
Yeah, man. So yeah, that just surprised me. Lots of walk-up business. Not the case for basically all of these Christmas movies, too. Song Sung Blue has a lot of walk-up business. Not people like pre-buying their tickets, but people being like, oh, it's like December 28th. Why don't we go to the movie theater and check out what they have? Yeah, that kind of thing.
My parents did that exact thing, Tanner.
Yep.
Not for Anaconda, but for Song Sung Blue, actually.
Yeah. It will suit, at the domestic box office, it's made $35-ish million. It'll pass one of them days, which made $50 million, to become the highest-grossing R-rated comedy of 2025. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
And you haven't mentioned here that the director, Tom Gormican, has discussed sequels remaking other films. Now, Tanner, is there any indication of any movies that he might be interested in doing that to?
He didn't really list any. When I was looking through, he he mentioned like, oh, like, yeah, he could remake other movies. He didn't list any specifics, but he's like, we could also do like Sasquatch, like Jack Black and Paul Rudd as their characters from Anaconda want to make like a Sasquatch movie, but they run into the real Sasquatch, like that kind of thing.
Well, there's not a Sasquatch movie.
I don't think so.
There probably is, but like
there's probably a lot of Sasquatch movies if you want to dig deep.
They're probably all made by like the fucking Sharknado studio.
Yeah, they're all Asylum movies or whatever.
Yeah, sure. We'll see. But I mean,
especially with this movie, because this movie is doing very well.
Yeah, it is.
That they could absolutely see it. I've seen, sort of like some third party analysis from like Deadline or whatever that Sony could be looking to make this their like Jumanji Light franchise.
In terms of box office, but also they're rated R. So like
exactly. Like they're smaller niche plays, but they're also like meta comedies that can maybe play on some IP stuff that's not very popular. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We'll see.
Yeah. Last one we have to talk about is Song Song Blue. This is a music biography film of sorts starring Kate Hudson and Hugh Jackman. On a budget of $30 million, it's made about $60 so far. Not a whole lot to say about this, because you mentioned your parents went to go see this, Tucker. Mm-hmm. You have not seen it.
No, I've not seen it, no.
Fair enough. Tucker, that's mostly because, no offense to your parents, but it has bared out in the data that this film is overwhelmingly for old white people. 48% of opening weekend audience was over the age of 55. 86% of that opening weekend audience was white.
That's got to be like the heaviest split we've ever covered on the show.
Yeah.
86. Jesus.
And Tucker, over the New Year's weekend, where this movie did perform quite well, it's the lowest grossing, like the worst performing of this like holiday corridor group of films, but it's still doing quite well.
Yeah.
Over the New Year's weekend, it got older. 60% of the moviegoers were over 55.
That's so funny, dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I didn't even know this was happening. I don't know what Song Song Blue means.
Sure.
I vaguely know that it's not actually like a music biopic. It's a cover.
So it's the film's. It is the music of Neil Diamond, who is the guy who we know most people would know is the singer of Sweet Caroline.
Sure.
And it is about two people from Milwaukee who form like a Neil Diamond cover / tribute band. And then they get married, and then there's like tragedies in their life or whatever, etc., etc. Yeah.
The last time there was a cover band movie, I would say, was Yesterday.
No, yeah.
What about Blinded by the Light? Does that count?
That also counts. I would say that counts. That's very similar. Someone like so inspired and in love with the works of this one artist that they. Yeah, exactly.
Huh.
Yeah.
Huh. I never really thought about that as like a potential
genre of
storytelling
film.
or genre. Yeah, that's very. Huh.
Yeah. It'll end up around 50 million domestic. Very, very good turnout for this movie. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's already made its money, its production, and presumably all of its prints and advertising.
Yes.
I'm trying to think of the term. Yeah. So shout out. Actually, Tanner, I mean, we got to be real. I came into this month or into this video saying like, we had a kind of a mixed month. I actually don't think that's really true. I think Ella McCay being kind of like a legendary bomb is the only thing really holding back this month from like people went to go see movies. There's something in most genres, something that seems to appeal to most people. And I don't know if this is really exactly it, but like Avatar being held back just a tiny bit might just indicate that people are going to see a wider variety of things.
That's certainly possible. It's certainly like people were going out to see this stuff. It is kind of every so often you'll get like a holiday corridor bomb or flop. Disappointment, but there wasn't one this year. Like all of these movies are doing quite well. Even the ones that we didn't discuss are doing quite well. It's just good to see. It's just good to see. It's robust, and it's also a testament to like the strength of putting movies out around this time of year. Because like Tucker, Anaconda or Song Song Blue, if those came out in like October, good lord, can you imagine how hard those would have flopped?
Yeah, and also as we're just about to get to, there's not going to be much taking the wind out of their sails. These movies have as we talk about every year, have the perfect runway if they are popular and have good word of mouth to hang around for a lot longer than your average movie, because people don't like going to see specifically new movies in January. It's not fair to say that people don't like seeing movies in January. They just like seeing December movies in January. Yeah. And so, like, again, Songs on Blue, Anaconda, The Housemaid, Marty Supreme, and Avatar, I think all these movies you'll be able to see into February, which is rare nowadays, lasting 7-8 weeks in the theaters.
Yeah. Okay.
Especially for the genres that most of these movies are in.
Yeah, for sure. Let's talk about the films of November and how they have ended up for us. A couple of these are still in theaters. A couple of your big ones are still in theaters a little bit. But Predator Badlands, which opened on November 7th, ended up around $184 million. That'll be going to VOD here pretty quickly, I think. But it's not out on VOD yet, which kind of confused me. Because I think, Running Man, which ended up doing a little bit more, but not much. $68 million. That's a pretty major disappointment, I would say. That was on VOD pretty quickly. Same goes for Now You See Me, Now You Don't, which did very well. Over $200 million worldwide for Now You See Me. So more of those coming down the pike, I'm sure too.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Yeah, I gotta ring the bell here a little bit. Wicked for Good was obviously a big Thanksgiving weekend film that has made $518 million so far. I gotta ring the bell because we took a little wager on if this would end up above or below $600 million, and I took the under. So
for Wicked,
yeah.
You know what? And I'll say fair enough to both of us. Godspeed to you for predicting what actually ended up happening.
Yeah.
But also,
Yeah.
Very interesting. I was really confident that because of how much of a surprise hit Wicked was, that and this was coming out a year later, that I was confident that it was going to carry the momentum. And obviously it's a less well received movie, not by like a crazy amount, but like, yeah, I think what we kind of seen here with a lot of these things is sometimes something being a novelty and being special and being an event is, this has kind of just been true forever, but like something being a special event, unique and new, is really what pulls people in to see it. And that's not necessarily replicable, even with things like Five Nights at Freddy's and Avatar and Wicked. Is like all three of these movies have done very well for themselves, but like major financial steps down, and also on reception on all three of them. Reception steps down from their predecessors.
Yeah.
But that's not the case with Zootopia 2, Terry.
No, Zootopia 2, Tucker, if we had stopped talking about it, if it had just stopped making money in the first week of its release, we would have been like, big hit, look at that, how about that? But no, this is a gargantuan hit. It's made $1.5 billion so far, continues to stick around in like the top 5 of the box office domestically, especially worldwide. This thing is a huge hit internationally as well.
Zootropolis, Tanner.
Zootropolis, indeed. Has...
I'm very cultured, Tanner. I'm a man of the world. Zootropolis.
Yeah,
that's what I call it. This is just a glimpse into how worldwide
international my mind is. Tucker, your international mind derailed my
international mind of mystery, Tanner.
Yeah, it is the fastest PG movie to reach $1 billion. Oh, wow. It is also the highest-grossing Walt Disney Animation Studios.
Oh, beating Frozen 2?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And it's not done yet.
No, it's not. But also, yeah, I guess Moana 2 is like really the only 2020, or frankly, it's the only Walt Disney animation movie post Frozen 2 that
did crazy well.
Yeah, that's been competitive. They've largely been on a pretty low streak. Encanto was popular, but that was a different
Encanto. That was like a 2020, like the fall 2021. Yeah. There was a pandemic affected still. It went to Disney Plus pretty quickly after its theatrical debut as well. Or was that a day and date one?
Encanto?
Yeah.
That was definitely day and date. Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Or at least I'm like 76% confident that it was.
Sure. But yeah, there's that. So let's look at this December versus last December in terms of how we thought the quality of the movies by our standards. A little bit lower this year around, but that's just because like last year did have some heaters, and like if if Sonic 3 was the quality of like Sonic or Sonic 2, then it might be quite a bit closer. But we both liked Sonic the Hedgehog 3 quite a bit. Nosferatu was great. A Complete Unknown was great. The real thing is also that Tucker, you're not a huge fan of Marty Supreme, which brings down that average quite a bit for that film. But also, we had some stinkers. We had a hard stinker with Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
God, Tanner, that is actually... I mean, I'm thinking most about Avatar. Yeah. But Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is actually the movie I've been talking about the most this last month. Because
really?
For some reason, like, everyone I know has seen it. And, like, they just mentioned they've seen it. I'm like, that's a fucking stinker, huh? And they're all like, no, I kind of liked it.
Yeah, well.
It's like my cousins and like miscellaneous friends and like whatever the fuck, and I'm like,
big FNAF. Are they all like FNAF video game fans? Really?
No, definitely not. But they're also like, ooh, that was a really scary movie, huh? I was like,
whoa.
Well,
all right.
I've had easily 4 conversations to that exact effect.
You're a stronger man than I in that regard.
What are you going to assault them? What the fuck? What does that
yes.
imply?
Yes.
What the fuck does that imply? But also, let's go. Hey, shout out to December 2023.
Yeah.
Godzilla -1, banger.
God.
Wonka,
Godzilla
pretty
-1,
good.
bang.
Wonka, pretty good.
Aquaman, Anyone But You, pretty decent. And Migration, obviously, best movie of the decade.
I will say, yes, of course. I will say, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. If I point to every movie on here, that's one I would want to rewatch the least. Every movie of the what is that, 5 plus 12, that's 17 movies on here. I would much rather watch Five Nights at Freddy's 2 because that's like more fun to talk about. Like, more fun
would you rather rewatch War of the Rohirrim?
No, never mind.
That's no. The War of the Rohirrim, listen, wasn't even a movie that I think was that terrible.
No,
it's just
fun.
like it's just so whatever, you know.
And honestly, Tanner, even though Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is stupid and terrible, War of the Rohirrim is more boring.
It's quite boring, isn't it?
That's a really fucking boring movie, huh?
Yeah. Okay. Let's look at this graph one last time for 2025. Ended up very close to the December total for 2024, just a couple percentage points shy of last year's total. But quite a bit above that 2023 mark still for December.
Yep. Wait. Oh, did I skip that? Oh, I accidentally skipped to the domestic. Okay. Interesting. But I do think that I saw somewhere. You don't have a total here, but I'm pretty sure 2025 was a higher total.
On the year, yes, was a couple percentage points above 2024. So, all right, Tucker. Well, we got the domestic totals, domestic and worldwide top 10 for the highest grossing movies. This is thank you, Tucker, for putting the new sticker on there. Thank you. This is not quite set because obviously Avatar will continue to make money, but all the movies on here are the movies of the top 10.
Is Avatar going to be number 1? It'll be number 3, at least. It's gonna be number 1.
Gotta be number 1.
Okay. It's only been out for like fucking 2 weeks.
It's been out for 2 weeks, and yeah.
And it's holding pretty well.
It's holding pretty well.
The other Avatar movies.
I think it'll definitely be at least. Yeah, I mean, what's he gonna make another like $60 million to be number 3?
Yeah,
that's a few weeks. Yeah, it'll be top 3. It'll be top 3.
That 3 to 6 is actually very compact.
It is.
You have a big jump up to 1 and
420.
2. But also like I said, it was going to be number 3. If it's number 2, it's number 1 because those. Jesus Christ, Minecraft and Lilo and Stitch are $1 million apart. That's amazing.
Yeah, they actually. I actually tried to round a little bit just to make it look neater. But let me just look here what the actual totals are.
Is it even tighter than $1 million?
Yes, Tucker. It is literally like $200,000.
Oh my god. Now Tanner,
I rounded Minecraft up because it's 423,949.
Sure, yeah, which is totally fair. But you know what I'll say? Ultimately, Lilo and Stitch not only worldwide is the winner, but right? Lilo and Stitch worldwide, yeah.
Yes.
Actually, we'll get that next. But Lilo and Stitch is going to be the winner domestically. Because Lilo and Stitch will get more theatrical re-releases than Minecraft.
Yeah.
Will, I think.
What Tucker? Are they going to do Block Party again? Everyone wanted to go see the Block Party version of Minecraft.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Huh.
All right. And the worldwide list. Again, Avatar. Will it beat Zootopia 2?
I mean...
Yeah, Zootopia 2 is slowing down. Avatar is slowing down less.
Yeah.
But Tucker, it's got to make up like $500 million on Zootopia.
Tanner.
Yeah.
What do we say?
Never doubt Big Jim.
Never doubt Big Jim.
Does it climb to number one? No, it's not going to be number one. No. So,
I mean, man, Neja 2, man.
Neja 2, $2 billion.
That's amazing.
All in China.
$2 billion. Neja 2, $2 billion.
Yeah. So there you have it, folks. Tucker, anything that surprised you in either of these top tens?
As a year of the whole. Are we going to do a 2025?
We'll do a recap. We'll do a look back at 2025. You'll look forward to 2026 at some point soon.
Well, I mean, honestly, Tanner.
Yeah.
It's Neja and Demon Slayer. Like those are
fair enough.
The only ones that we definitely did not predict.
Yes.
Like those wouldn't have been our top 30.
Not on our radar.
Actually, they wouldn't have been our top 100.
If
we were guessing at the beginning of the year. And shows a globalization of the film marketplace that we don't usually see in the highest grossing movies list of any given year. There's on occasion, like every other year, a massive Chinese movie that really dominates like this. But Neja 2 being number one is the first time that a not U.S. movie has been number one, as far as I know. I'm not sure. But
no, it is the first. I mean, if you're saying non-American movie number one worldwide, it's the first time ever.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Damn. And I don't know.
I will say a couple things that surprised me about these top tens. We'll discuss this more on that forthcoming video that we discussed. First of all, no Marvel movies in the top 10 worldwide.
No. Oh my God.
Superman is bringing up that 10th spot, but is the only superhero movie period there. And then, obviously for domestic, there's only one Marvel movie there, and is pretty far outgrossed by the DC movie and Superman. And then Sinners, number 8, domestic. Cool stuff. Really cool.
Domestic. I was still looking at worldwide.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Shout out.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sinners. Oh my God. And then Marty Supreme will be number one at some point.
Marty Supreme will be number one. Headlines, Tucker. Let's do it. Let's run it down here.
Extra, Tanner.
Extra, as has been for the last couple of months, the Warner Brothers acquisition sale is our first big thing to talk about. They plan to reject a hostile bid that was launched by Paramount / Skydance / the Ellison family. And it's looking more and more like a done deal that Warner Brothers will be acquired by Netflix.
Yep.
So, there was lots of hubbub a couple days ago about the theatrical windows that apparently Netflix had previously explored doing 17-day windows for their films, which would include now Warner Brothers released films. That sort of flies in the face of previous comments made by Sorrentos and other Netflix executives that they would keep quote unquote standard theatrical windows in place. Yep. Which they, if I remember correctly, they have to do for the next couple of years until 2030, 2031, just because of contractual stuff. But after that, they might be able to renegotiate those, and then we could see that change. But anyway, this is not T's are not crossed, I's are not dotted on this yet, but it's probably going to go through, it seems.
Yeah, it does seem like it. And this is one of those ones where, I don't think it's a good thing, but it's it's happening, and as someone who is fascinated by the progression of film as an industry and as a medium, this is an interesting shakeup. It's a really interesting shakeup. And it's just this is gonna change things quite a bit, especially over time. You mentioned the contracts and things taking a while to settle, but once all of it is incorporated, within a couple of years, we're really gonna feel the impact of it. So I'm not happy about it, but now that it's basically a done deal, I'm Let's see how the dice roll.
Yeah, with distance on it, I can pretty comfortably say that like it was better for Netflix to win this than Paramount.
Okay, sure.
Just because like people broke down like the comparisons of like how many people would like lose their jobs or whatever. Like Paramount obviously as a studio that is very similar to Warner Brothers has a lot more overlap, so they would just be firing people and cutting programs and things like that.
Yeah, it's more now. It's a more of a vertical acquisition than a horizontal one.
Yes, certainly.
Merger, I guess.
But it also gets more complicated with like HBO Max and Netflix as competitors, as like in the streaming market, not the theatrical market. Definitely. Yeah.
Which is
anyway,
maybe
Tucker.
Arguably bigger. Who knows?
Yeah. So, more bad news. Disney has signed a $1 billion deal with OpenAI, licensing masked and creature characters to use in Sora AI images and video. This is also going to be soon integrated into the Disney Plus platform as well, so that there can be user-created content through Sora AI on Disney Plus.
This is gonna... this is another thing. It's gonna change things.
Mm-hmm.
I can't really foresee this going well for the sort of tastes and preferences that I have. But it's interesting because I'm like, AI stuff is so prevalent now, and AI versions of people and characters and all this stuff are everywhere. And so this is like an okaying of that and a financial like investment in that continuing to happen in a way that I'm not particularly a fan of. But I don't know. I don't know if this is really going to make it more prevalent. I think it's just going to cement it as something that is like stays around.
Yeah. I mean, it obviously is for the user experience. The user experience of AI, like I fucking give a fuck. But like is cheapened. Because, again, it is masked and creature characters. Because they obviously can't use, actors' likenesses or their voices or anything like that. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be like, these characters can't really talk. And so it's mostly going to be like, I want Darth Vader to, like, get in a lightsaber fight with Elsa or some shit,
Sure.
Yeah, that's basically what this is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Show me that, Sora. Yeah, so.
But, like... maybe it's just not Sora, and it's definitely not integrated into Disney Plus. But like, you can do that already on fucking. I don't even know which one. But like, you can.
I'm doing it right now.
Oh my god! Whoa, it's beautiful.
Whoa, it's awesome! Look at her go! Whoa, this is awesome! Whoa, Elsa just beat Darth Vader. That's cool.
Wowee.
Done. Anyway. Sony has officially greenlit the third 28 years later
Tanner,
film.
won't it be better when your aunt can send you that?
Yes, it will be better when she can do that. It will be better. Tucker. It'll be better when someone posts a video of that on Facebook and says like Star Wars X Frozen coming to theaters 2027 or whatever, and she's like, "Is this real?"
Yeah. Third 28 years later film happening. We are right on the precipice of the Bone Temple coming out. I've been seeing that trailer a little bit more recently, and I'm like, hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, it basically came off the heels of that movie getting like a test screening and testing very well with critics and audiences, and so they're like, yeah, light it up. Third film.
Sweet. Do we know the timeline on that? I guess it'll be a little more over a year, something like that.
Danny Boyle is currently working on a different film called Ink right now. I believe he's still filming that, maybe in post-production. No, it's about it's like a historical biopic about Rupert Murdoch.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Danny.
Yeah. So
go make zombie movies, you fucker.
After that, I assume. So like 2027, maybe 2028.
We'll see.
Yeah. The Legend of Aang: The Last Airbender, recently not released in theaters. It was scheduled to come out on October 9th, but instead it will be streaming on Paramount Plus on October 9th.
This is a great way to have no one ever see your movie.
Exactly. So my take on this is that Paramount is not stupid. They know that like people like The Last Airbender, especially people our age and a little older, like The Last Airbender. It's a very popular IP that really, in its original animated format, has not been a theatrical thing. Obviously, there was the M. Night Shyamalan movie 15 years ago.
Right. Yeah.
So
that movie actually made a lot of money though.
I think it did, yeah. But obviously, it has the stink on it because everyone looks at that. The worst movie of all time.
$319 million, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, they look at this, it is a continuation of the original series. It's like those characters as adults. So my thing has to be, this movie has to be really bad for them to put it straight to streaming.
That's very interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's cheaper for them to do this. And not go through the whole rigmarole of, I mean, you have to do significantly less marketing to put a movie out on streaming, and you don't have to fucking distribute it. And make deals. You're just like, push the go button.
Think, yeah, they could put this out on Paramount Plus tomorrow.
Push the shit out our movie onto platform button.
Maybe it's good. I don't really know, but that's just my theory.
I think that's a sound theory. Tanner?
Paul King Tucker is apparently set to direct a Labubu movie for Sony.
Tanner?
Yeah.
What do you smell? What is that in the air?
The
Emoji Movie is back, Tanner.
Oh, Tucker. Is this Emoji Movie or is this Minecraft Movie? Is my question to you.
I think Minecraft getting a movie. 14 years into the history of that game.
Which still different. As popular, basically.
It's as popular as it's ever been. It's very different from something that is very clearly capitalizing on a in-the-moment trend. Tanner, this is Emoji Movie meets the fucking GameStop fucking...
Dumb Money?
Dumb Money.
Yeah.
Where it's like, we got to find a way to make some money on this. It's simply too good.
Tucker, this is an animated movie too. Yeah, this is an animated movie too. Yeah, it's going to take longer than that. It's crazy. Tucker, they might not even make this, but they just announced it, and then I had to put it in here.
We got to mention it because these things always happen, right? Superhero movie makes a bunch of money, confirm a bunch of superhero movies. Video game movie, horror movies, all this stuff. Oh, a big example of that. Let's get rolling on these things. Let's try to capitalize on this momentum. And the amount of times that those actually pan out is pretty low. Because again, we compare this with Five Nights at Freddy's dropping off and Wicked dropping off and Avatar comparatively dropping off. It's like it's got to feel organic off the moment. It's the idea, and not like, oh, let's try to do that idea again. But I don't know, man.
Yeah. I already mentioned the Zootopia 2 fastest PG-rated film to reach $1 billion thing. Timo Tchajanto is set to direct the Sleeping Dogs movie. Someone just asked Simu Liu about this on Twitter, and he's like, "Oh yeah, this guy's directing it."
Yeah,
someone's literally like, "Any news?" And then he's like, "Oh, here's a director."
It's wild that they're letting Simu Liu kind of handle PR campaign for this movie. I'm like,
basically,
don't do that. That's not a good idea. But I mean, maybe in the social media age, it kind of is, rather than having Variety or Deadline reports. That's just gonna get disseminated to fucking discussing film anyway. So cut out the middleman. I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah. And the last thing I have to note here, circles right back around to the Warner Brothers Netflix thing we talked about at the very beginning, is that the Stranger Things series finale was released for 2 days in theaters in New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. It grossed about $25 million. It's similar to the K-pop Demon Hunters thing, where they don't report exact grosses, but it's an estimate based on the actual theaters themselves. And apparently, very odd decision here, the theater chains will be allowed to keep 95% of that money. Now,
if I was Netflix, I just wouldn't have signed that deal.
No, here's the thing. Is that it's probably a lot more complicated than this. Yeah, but to me, what that sounds like is a show of good faith from Netflix to theaters. With this news about the Warner Brothers acquisition in the headlines.
Butter them up a little bit. Butter up 6 theaters with a tiny little bit of money. Guys, 95%, isn't that such a big split, guys? We're your friends.
Yes, but that's what it feels like to me. Again, it's probably a lot more complicated than that. I don't know if the same was the case for K-pop Demon Hunters or not. But still, yeah, it seems like a little bit of an olive branch to me. It's like, here, look, we put this thing of ours in theaters, and we're only taking 5% of the money on it. Like, this is all for you.
This is a fucking honeypot trap, bro. This is like this is like do not stick your hand in like the shiny hole. Like it's gonna,
it's a if you give a mouse a cookie kind of situation, too.
For who?
I don't know.
You just want to say.
I don't know.
Which part's the mouse? What?
Well, the movie is the cookie, or is the money the cookie?
The money has to be the cookie, no matter which way you slice it.
And who's the you? I like that I've said this, and now I'm asking you to explain it for me.
Let's talk about fucking Dumpuary.
Dumpuary, baby. Let's get excited. Okay, January. New year. Tucker, new year, same shit.
Pour some Miralax in my water bottle. Stir it around.
That's right. Okay, January 2026. Tucker, we are on the precipice of the first new releases of the year. Greenland 2, Migration, and Primate will be coming out on January 9th. Excited?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. January 16th is when we'll probably get Tucker, I spoke a little bit out of turn in a private personal conversation yesterday.
Don't mention this.
Well, I said that Primate will probably be the first movie to dethrone Avatar. I don't think that's going to be true. I think it will probably be 28 years later, The Bone Temple.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense there.
Yeah. But that comes out on the 16th. That's also the wide expansion day of Dead Man's Wire, which is a new Gus Van Sant movie.
Oh yeah, I saw the trailer for that anymore.
Why did you make Marcy so big?
I was trying to see what these numbers were. Guilty. Oh, time left. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck?
Tucker, come on! You've seen the trailer for Mercy. You know that he has 90 minutes to prove his innocence or whatever.
God.
Well, we'll talk about January 23rd is the release of Mercy, starring Chris Pratt and Rebecca Ferguson.
Yeah, isn't it? Isn't it just, Tanner?
It's also the release date for a film I don't know how wide the distribution will be, but it's Return to Silent Hill. The director of the first Silent Hill movie from 2006, I want to say, he's coming back to make like a faithful adaptation of the game, apparently. So,
are you gonna Silent Hill bench there?
I might. Well, if this gets if I can see this, I probably will. Sure. Time will tell. Then January 30th, we have a couple of interesting films. We have Send Help, which is like a survival slasher movie from Sam Raimi, starring Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien. Mm-hmm. We have The Moment, which is a pseudo Charlie XCX biopic that's like about the Brat Summer sort of like explosion of her fame. Okay. But it's also like slightly fictionalized, but also kind of not really. This is an A24 film. It seems kind of interesting. It's like obviously Charlie XCX is in that lead role as herself. So I don't know. Seems kind of intriguing. And then Iron Lung. This is directed by a guy, if you're on YouTube, you might have heard of, named Markiplier.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
And this is a really interesting... Tucker, you probably know more about this than I do. Mm-hmm. About, like, the distribution of this. And, like, he's basically... There's a fan movement sort of led by Mr. Iplier to call, like, your local theaters and ask them to show this film.
Yeah. And it seems to be working as far as I know. They did the first round of, like, tickets in theaters and showtimes a couple weeks ago. I live in a pretty major metropolitan area, and there wasn't any, or maybe there just wasn't any that weren't sold out. That might have been the case. And I'm like, oh, it's only gonna be kind of limited. We gotta drive 40 minutes to go and see it.
Right.
But as far as I know, I've been seeing people like post online about the fact that it's actually succeeding. That people are calling. They're like, okay, yeah, we give it a couple of showtimes for Iron Lung. Yeah. So
I mean, it's going to be at my local theater. Those showtimes for like Thursday night and Friday night are basically entirely sold out.
Yeah. Did you get tickets?
I did get tickets.
There you go. We're gonna go see Iron Lung on opening.
We're gonna go see Iron Lung. I don't know shit about it because it's a video game adaptation, correct?
Yeah, it is. It's an adaptation of a horror game that's only like 90 minutes long.
Sure. Well, 90 minutes to prove our innocence.
well. Now, Tanner, let's talk about what we think will be the biggest movies.
How do we think these will pan out? So we both have 28 years later, The Bone Temple at number 1, and then Primate at number 2. We're both going in on like the January horror movies. They always have some level of business coming out to them.
Yeah.
Then you have Mercy at number 3, and I have Greenland 2 Migration.
I gotta think.
Yeah.
That Chris Pratt's face and the amount that I've seen this fucking trailer
is worth something.
Is gonna pull out some people like, oh, and also AI, big talking point right now. Also, like, the judicial system. Like, these are hot topics that I feel like, even if we see the trailer for Mercy, we're like, that looks stupid.
It looks awful.
No, to be fair, we're both going to go see fucking Mercy.
Absolutely we will.
But for the people who don't think it's stupid, they're like, huh. I feel like there's an intrigue here that, like, in a more genuine way than you and I can fucking tell them. That will make this slightly bigger than you're anticipating.
Yeah.
Number 5.
I think, Tucker, that may certainly be the case. And if I really had a jaded and pessimistic view of like the general movie going audience, I might be a little bit more weighted towards that. But I think time has kind of shown that, especially for things like this, Rotten Tomatoes is king. Like the Rotten Tomatoes score, the general reception of it is king. And boy, Tucker, what do you think the Rotten Tomatoes on this thing is going to be?
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying it was out.
No. I mean, because this is always the battle, is that the studios know that the Rotten Tomatoes score drop is important, and so they will delay the time for critics to see it until so close to when the movie comes out to sort of minimize the damage of it.
Yeah, so maybe it's even better than what will the Rotten Tomatoes score be. Is like what day will the Rotten Tomatoes score drop?
I mean, I think it's got to be below 20. I'm thinking maybe 10 to 15% on Rotten Tomatoes for this. Yeah. So I have it at number 5. I got my numbers here too. I'll shout those out here. But I have Greenland 2 Migration
for Mercy. Not that this is a good thing, but like it feels to me like it's been a while since there's been a movie with a concept in a trailer that's so like annoying and stupid. Like when we like got excited for fucking Plane. Like it feels like one of those. Like, it's been a while since one of us has really hit. We're like, oh boy, we're gonna see Mercy, and we all know it's gonna suck, and we're all like, I can't wait to see it.
Well, speaking of Plane, we got a Jerry Butler film coming out in January, as is always the case.
Yeah, but Tanner, but it's a sequel. We've been through that before, Tanner.
Den of Thieves was a sequel, Tucker. Yeah. Den of Thieves made $15 million opening weekend.
Tanner.
And I think Greenland 2 will be a little bit lower, as I get into it here in a second. But then I have Send Help at number 4. You have it at number 5. January horror adjacent. But Tucker, can you put into words why you have less faith in this than Primate or Bone Temple? Because I feel the same, obviously.
I just think that those trailers are more gripping. I think they have something a little bit more going. Like, I also think Send Help is a really poor name. Like,
sure.
The Bone Temple, Tanner.
Whoa.
I mean, well, obviously we both think that fucking gets you juicing. And Primate is kind of like simple, but sometimes that works in terms of like simple, memorable. It's about a fucking monkey. Like it's clean. Send Help is not quite as instantly engaging. I mean, it probably would be better than Primate. But I like Rachel McAdams and Sam Raimi more than I know anything about Primate. But like, I don't know. It's got a vibe that I don't think Sam Raimi. I don't think the people care. So that's why even though he is a name director, unlike almost anyone else here.
But Chucker, he hasn't directed a movie like an original movie like this since like Drag Me to Hell in like 2007.
They're mentioning that in the trailer. Yeah. They're like from the director of Evil Dead and Drag Me to Hell. I'm like,
do people know what Drag Me to Hell is?
I'm like, I barely know what that is.
Yeah, because he's been in like the franchise machine for a. I mean, he took a long break after Oz the Great and Powerful in 2013.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so these are my numbers, Tucker. 28 years later, The Bone Temple. $20 million opening weekend.
Oh, we're going low.
We're going low.
We're doing a little limbo here, Tanner.
I could flex it up to like 21 or 22, but I'm going to stick it at 20.
If that's your flexing it up, then don't.
Well, maybe. I don't know. Because like 28 years later came out.
This is you bench pressing. You're like, guys, put another 5 on it.
Yeah, put another 2.5 on either side.
Woo! Look at me go.
If you remember, Tucker, general audiences were not fans of 28 Years Later.
Oh, sure, fair enough, yeah.
That movie had great trailers, which got people out opening weekend, but it did kind of fall off kind of precipitously over the summer.
Yeah. Now, to also say, the movie made $151 million total. So like,
It did.
We're
what did it open to again?
30.
Yeah. So I think
20. You know what? For Dumpuary, for a sequel, for a less big name director, maybe. Yeah.
Maybe. Primate, I'm saying 15. I'm going way over on projections, like industry projections on this.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes. The industry projections are like 5 to 10 for Primate.
Ooh, okay.
I just think every time I see this trailer with an audience, there's just like a buzz in the theater of the, and I just think like, I think people are always kind of in for this really dumb horror movie kind of thing.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's my feelings on that. Greenland 2 Migration, I'm gonna say 13, just a little bit below Den of Thieves.
I really hate that you used the subtitle as well.
It's called Greenland 2 Migration.
Greenland 2 Migration, guys. Greenland 2 Migration.
Greenland 2 Migration, January 9th. Go see it.
That doesn't roll off the tongue as well as Marty Supreme Christmas Day.
It does not.
Greenland 2 Migration, January 9th.
I think a very similar sort of thing. I think my only apprehension is that like Greenland came out in 2020, like pandemic land, but I think very similar to Den of Thieves. I think it was probably a VOD streaming kind of like thing.
Yeah. Yeah, but Tanner, I feel like that's kind of an all or nothing thing. Where if that is true,
it is.
It's going to be even bigger, maybe, than Primate.
Maybe. I just think that I just feel like I'm putting it below Den of Thieves 2 Pantera.
Sure.
That's my feelings on that. Send Help, I'm saying 11, and then Mercy, I'm saying 9.
Yeah, well, for me, that's kind of another like all or nothing thing. It's like it's either going to surprise me or I'm going to be like, yeah, no one cares.
Yeah, fair enough. But yes, so those are our predictions, folks. We will be back next month with the recap for Dumpuary, January 2026, as well as, our 2026 predictions for the year, and a little recap on 2025 as well. So thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.